So about the headset tool, we just hammered it down, and you can see here that it's really tight. Of course, it needs to be really tight because the Appcon is so big as possible. So the wall thickness of the whole system is very tight. So that means you also can use some grease here to put it in. You can put some grease here, that makes sense. And also, this is the old version, or the first version of the Appcon. So we have the bolt is coming in here, and then this is the conta bolt, the conta nut, maybe this is the right name. So the bolt cannot come out, cannot come out. But what we realized is there was a customer, the bolt was coming out. So this is a disaster. If this bolt is into the star nut of the bike, you cannot get it out. Disaster. So I highly recommend what you need to do if you get your tool. Please tighten this bolt as much as you can. This bolt, this nut, tighten as much as you can, so this cannot go loose by turning out, and this stays then in the star nut. This is a disaster. So please tighten this bolt. If it's not done, I'm not sure, please tighten it, and everything will be fine. So it looks easy, but it is complicated, because if something went wrong, you never can fix it by yourself, and even the professional people will take hours to get that done, to fix it. So thank you very much for your time. Have fun during your ride. So this is Udo from NC17 again. We talk about the headset installation, and we have 2 videos for it. This is the second video. So just a customer bike is coming to the office. Very nice. You take a look. He put the headset under the stem with 2 zip ties, and on top you have the LED lights and the cables here. So this is the way the customer did it, but now the customer wants it into the headset, and for sure we will change this now on the fly. So what we have to do is we have to open the nut, the bolt from the headset. Very easy. That's always the same. Very long bolt, so it looks like this. This is a headset cap, and finally the function of the headset cap is the same function that we have with our adapter mount. It does exactly the same thing, just the adapter mount looks different. So this comes away, and you can now see in the inside there is a steel tube. The most steel tubes are not butted, so there will be a straight tube, and you can see the star nut sitting there. So this is a star nut, right? We talked about this ugly hardcore thing. So this is 90.9% all the aluminum and steel forks look like this. So what we now have to do is we have to hammer down for installation the star nut. We need to get them down. We have a special tool. So we don't touch the bolt from the stem. We don't touch anything. This is the right way to do it. Don't do it. If you need to touch the stem, you need to install the whole headset system again. Please go to your dealer, or you need to know what you do there. Otherwise, if you don't touch the stem bolts and everything, you just have to hammer it down. You can do by yourself. So now we have the tool. This is an Appcon installation tool for the headset. It's a straight bar, aluminum solid bar with the M6. So we get the M6 in, get that on the star nut, and now it will be a little bit loud. We have to hammer the star nut down on 160 millimeter. Okay. So this is a steel fork, a steel tube, and I'm pretty sure it's not tapered. But as we know, if it is tapered and my tool will be fixed into it, I cannot get it out, because on the back side I cannot get it out because the star nut is in the way. So therefore I just hammer it down, and I always check if the tool is still loose or not. So still. And after a while the star nut is straight, and then it will be easier. So the important thing now is you need to 1 millimeter or 2 millimeter, you need to stop. Otherwise, you cannot get the Appcon tool out, because the star nut takes the Appcon more in, so then you have another problem. So then you need another tool to twist the Appcon normal out. So please stop 1, 2, 3 millimeter before you get it down to the surface of the stem. Please put the stop, and then it's very easy to get the tool out. Everything is tight because we need to get this big Appcon in it. Therefore, of course, it's everything is tight. So now the star nut, you can look in the inside, is on the right deep. So about 160 millimeter. So now we have the, this is an adapter for the Appcon. It comes now in to the tube. We will just slide it in like a headset cap. Just for your information, there are 2 or 3 O-rings, rubber O-rings in the inside of this tube. And this is because the length will be adjusted, so that if you put that in, the Appcon makes no noise. So the tube, the O-rings are down here, so it's a little pressure on the Appcon if you put that down. So make sure before you make the installation, make sure that the O-rings looking right. If you take a look in the inside, it's better you do it without the bolt. You can have more light in it from the backside. So the O-rings need to be right in place and straight around the tube. So you don't destroy, or they need to be like in position. My English is not so good. So what we do now, we do finally the installation. What I always do is, I do first I take it, you see, one is coming out and one is coming this is one we have in our inventory here. Normally we have some grease on the O-rings, so the grease will not come out, it will stay in place. I put that back and I take a look, it's right, yes, it looks right. So we have the headset integration now, and I just put the bolt on my tool. This tool is a normal tool you can get in your ratchet tool. I don't know the US name, but you can just put it together. You have the long version, and I personally put the bolt in first, because otherwise you need to find the head of the bolt with your tool, and it's quite take a long time sometimes. So I just like to go this way and put that in first, and make sure that the O-rings are not coming out. So this is the situation what it is. And now I go in and go down, bolt the bolt to the star nut, and you tighten it with, let's say, 5 to 8 Newton meter, right? The 5 to 8 Newton meter do you need only because you have the cap, and if you tighten the cap, you can normally turn the mount. So you need to make sure that the mount is more tight than you tighten the cap. So I would say 6 to 8 Newton meter would be fine. So now you can also decide where you want to have the Appcon is coming out. So in the front is, on this system, in the front is not good, because then you have the cable like here. You can put it to the side. So, or you can do it backwards. I have seen that too, that people put it backwards, you know. So let's say it's backwards. You tighten it with 8 Newton meter, then put your Appcon in and put your cap on top. So, and then you can go this way. It also looks okay. Also, you can do by the side, whatever you want.